Fast forward about 18 months ago, my daughter, Rachel, my youngest daughter, my daughter had always had a dramatic personality. She had severe mood swings. Even as a child, we knew she was a little different. But at 21 years old, we learned what that was. She had her first manic episode. She has bipolar 1. It's a very serious, biologically driven mental illness that causes people to have dramatic swings in their mood from manic, expansive, and energy-full periods to depression, and depression of a kind that is very severe, where people can't get out of bed for months sometimes. But we saw the manic phase. And for 6 months, my daughter dropped out of school, became worse and worse, lost her job, lost her apartment, and had to move back into our home. She became delusional. Part of a manic episode includes a psychotic phase. She had psychotic symptoms. She thought people on the radio were talking to her. She had all kinds of delusions about who we were. And it was very frightening. The most frightening experience of my life was thinking I was losing my baby daughter forever. I thought it was schizophrenia. Now, as a mental health professional, I have certain advantages in this because I've worked in the field. But what we decided as a family was something we all decided. We decided that we would not have this event be a private mourning, but it would be a public event. That took a lot of guts on behalf of my family and their siblings. It would be a public event. We would engage everyone we knew and tell them the story of what was going on. We weren't going to hide it under the rug and say, we don't know what this is. We had noticed that everyone, many people, had misconceptions about what was going on. Some people thought she was an alcoholic. She was using drugs. Some people thought she was just an out-of-control child. Oh, she'll get over it. We knew she was truly ill. We were living with her 24/7. We saw, and we knew that she was seriously ill. We decided to engage. She was arrested twice. Did I mention that? We called the judge, and I had a meeting. We pulled together a briefing set of papers. We brought them to the judge, and we gave a seminar to the judge about what bipolar disorder was. And this person in his courtroom, what he had seen when she was fidgeting and unable to pay attention, it wasn't disrespect. It was an illness. We talked to the police chief about how she had been arrested for speeding and the way she was handled. And this, to this day, by the way, this is a year and a half later, we're scheduled to do, the Rosalynn Carter Institute will be doing training for police in crisis intervention. We talked to everyone at the university, many of whom you would think would be enlightened about the illnesses of young adults. They didn't know what they were seeing. We talked to her teachers, and we told them what was going on. But the most important thing we did, we called together my family and Kathy's family, my wife. And there are a total of 7 children and about 17 grandchildren. And we had a family reunion in the midst of this. And we decided to bring in an expert on bipolar disorder to talk to the family over a barbecue about what this meant for them. We said, there are 17 children here. Some of them are going to have the same illness as this child, as Rachel does. And so we use this as an opportunity to teach the family about something that we believe is a biological. When I look back, I think my dad definitely was carrying a bipolar gene, and probably his father. So now it's our turn. And in my family, that was always something we never talked about. That was just the way Dad was. We decided that this was something we could do, that we could educate. The meaning of this was that we could educate people, not only in our family, but in the neighborhood, in the community, about what this illness really was. And hopefully prepare them for the other people who would come with that same illness. So once we make a decision to care, you have to go all the way. If you want to protect yourself, you have to jump in with both feet and care for a particular reason. You have to choose to care. If it's thrown on you as something you reject and don't want, it'll be harder. If you can't do it, and you simply can't find meaning and purpose in this, then truly think about involving someone else who can. Another sibling, a professional caregiver. Unless you can find personal meaning in this, it will be a very long, hard journey. But if you can find personal meaning, you can be in that 1/3 of caregivers who report afterwards and during the time they're caregiving that, yes, it's hard, but in fact, our lives have been enriched dramatically by this experience. We've grown as a family. I have a relationship with my mother. I accomplished something that I never thought I could. Deciding why you're caring is the first step, because then you can decide what skills you need and who you want to come on your journey. Be very careful about choosing people to come on your journey. And don't be afraid to ask anyone, the judge, the physician, the doctor, whoever it is, a member of your family you haven't talked to in 10 years. Be careful. Bring in the people you need who will truly enrich this journey. It's not just quantity, it's quality. You have to have the right people at the table with you, the right people to journey with you. But once you decide what the meaning is, you can make those decisions. What skills do you need? You can learn them here. You can learn them by continuing your involvement with AWWA. And who do you want in your journey? Besides your family and the doctor and that, you also want fellow caregivers. These are your new family. Make friends. Don't be afraid to reach out and talk to one another and call. It's very important to have that caravan of people who come with you. Social support is a key. You cannot do this alone. Don't even think of it. Be creative, ultimately. Caregiving is hard, but don't just manage it. Make it a rich experience. You can do this. Is it a rich experience because you're going to grow from this? Is it a rich experience because you're going to grow closer to the person you're caring for? It can be a rich experience because your family can grow closer. And there are many other reasons. Ultimately, you have to be the architect of that network. You have to be the CEO of that home hospital. You have to be, and you have to grow in that role. Right? You have to have the plan and be the architect of your own care network. And you can begin that today. You can begin learning what you have to today. I'll leave you with this. One of my heroes is David Callahan. Why do we need care? Because illness, chronic illness, takes away from us what is so important to each one of us, that sense of normalcy. It's the greatest threat. It destroys the person with the disabilities and the chronic illness. It destroys their sense of well-being, they don't know why this has happened to them. Caring helps restore that. Caring helps restore and bring back to normal what chronic illness takes away from us. Begin that journey today. Choose to care, and good luck to you all. Thank you.